Alright, welcome back everybody. Cutscene.
Very well, give the order. Tomorrow we attack with the dawn.
At once, Your Grace.
Unfortunately, Leonard and the Duke continue to fight.
Oh? Balma Musa is fallen, is it not? The plan proceeds apace.
But we still do not know whether Balbatos has divided his troops.
Even as we breathe, Denham takes Port Ashton. My plan unfolds as I have seen it. Why do you worry so? The gods of Valeria are with us, Leonard. You'll see.
I do not question our success, but surely there is no harm in awaiting word from Port Ashton.
Yeah, Duke Rodway never read the Art of War, I don't think.
The destiny of the Wallister race. Prudence demands
caution. You do not attack when you are unsure or you are not at an advantage.
You talk a perilous line, Leonard.
Your orders, sire?
You have them. Go and see that they are carried out.
As you command.
Please, Your Grace.
That's quite enough from you. Begone from my sight.
As you wish.
This is the notice you have to find under talk in order to unlock the next portion of the Ravenous sequence. If you don't read this and you progress too far, you'll basically pass the point where Ravenous is, you have to do the battles for you to recruit Ravenous.
At last I find you, Denham. You've given good chase, but the hunt ends here.
Aerosol.
Look again.
He's another character that no matter what you do, you're wrong. If you side with the Duke, here she is siding with Vice in the rebellion. If you side with the rebellion, won't do Balma Musa. He sides with the Duke and Leonard.
You will die for what you did at Balma Musa, for what you did to my brother.
She's easier to recruit though on the Law playthrough because you basically have to defeat her here without killing her. I could be wrong. I always get confused as to whether or not you have to get them within 10% of their health so they retreat, or you have to out and out defeat them for them to leave the battlefield. Because in some cases you have to knock them down to 0 and then they leave. And in some cases, if you knock them down to 0 in a mission like this, they may die instead. Makes them not that it matters for Aerosol, but because I already have her, but she would be unrecruitable in a normal, lawful playthrough where you're starting from scratch. Those are sort of the things. Like I said, the nice thing about Aerosol in this playthrough, though, is as long as she doesn't die in this, there's three. I think there's 3 missions. There's this mission, which, again, I don't know if you have to knock her down to 0 or within 10% of her health, but don't kill her on this mission. There's a follow-up mission later on. We'll run into her and Vice. You have to defeat Vice. As long as you target down Vice and stay away from targeting Aerosol, you should be good not killing her there. And then she has to survive one other battle that can be a little bit difficult because you're not in control of Aerosol, and we'll get there, but you're not really in control of many things in that battle, so you may have to restart it once or twice in order to sort of get the right drop where Aerosol does not die in that battle. Whereas you have a lot more control. No, you don't really have a lot of control in the Chaos playthrough either, because you have to spend 2 other missions protecting her, and she is a computer, so she may rush headlong into the front lines instead of going into the back rank where she belongs as an archer. I'm not talking like she's a woman, she belongs in the kitchen, ha ha ha. No, I mean, like, she's a fucking archer. Archers don't do well hand-to-hand combat, so put them in the back where they can't be hit. Or at least if they're gonna get hit, it's gonna be with a magic spell or another archer. So, as you can see, I've got access to lots of shit that makes this level a lot easier. I believe this is the exact same mission in neutral or the chaos side as it is in lawful, where you have two knights coming down that have that ability that won't let you pass them. Not phalanx, it's something else. It's so it's not an ability they proc, it's one that always exists. Basically, they create a see where the little red thing is. So you can move into that space, but you cannot move out of that space. It basically stops you dead there. And it gets bigger as they get stronger. So as they level out that skill, it goes from one space, I think it's one space to the left and right, to two spaces to the left and right, and one in front and back. Plus, I believe it can also maybe proc phalanx as well. I'm not sure. I didn't take a look at this point. But the fact that you're caught in this little square corner in which a bush is taking one of them, and all she has to do is plug her ass right there on the road, and it basically stops you from moving unless you have the ability to fly like Canopus does. You're kind of fucked. So you can go left and right, you can go around the blockade, which is I guess the idea is that you use Canopus to jump up on this roof here, shoot arrows down, and then you send your guys to the left and right around the house, so you flank from the left and the right. But going around the left side of the house takes way too long, in my opinion, whereas the right side, at least that makes sense in terms of you're heading towards the enemy spawn point, which is in the north east of the map. So you heading towards their spawn point makes sense as they move their way around the house they can't walk over. Yeah. But getting stuck here in the center is like the worst thing. You want to eliminate as quickly as possible the knights.
We cannot fight amongst ourselves.
We play into the enemy's
hands.
I know
your part in the massacre. Do not deny it.
Do not deny
My
it.
brother was beaten up. He broke his leg, and you killed him just the same. But in reality, of course, that was all under the direction of Leonard. Okay? Whether you're playing neutral or whether you're playing chaos or lawful. Leonard is the one who perpetrates the massacre of Balmamusa. However, in the chaos playthrough, Aerosol and Leonard are a romantic relationship with each other. And the man who perpetrated Balmamusa and killed her brother is very much the same person that is her lover, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. Which is super ironic because apparently she never found out. Or it's never addressed, at least to my knowledge. That's fucked up. Talk about bearing the lead there. That would have been an interesting cutscene. You know, provided you keep Aerosol alive and she joins your party and then you go to fight Leonard, you know? Side note unrelated to this game. Don't be unemployed. I mean, if you're gonna be unemployed, be unemployed. I get it. You know, sometimes you're between jobs. It just happens. I'm in that position right now. But when I was working, I used to complain sometimes that I would work a full 8 hours or full 40 hours and feel like I got nothing done. Which was just usually just me sort of feeling exacerbated because I had so much work left to do and I felt like I had gotten no closer to catching up or finishing that work. And so when I say I didn't do anything, I feel like I didn't do anything. That's generally what I mean. But when you're unemployed and you feel like you're not doing anything, I feel like that hits more true than not, because on the one hand you are doing stuff like looking for jobs and such.
My brother injured his leg. He couldn't even walk, but they cut him down just the same.
But when you're not making any progress or you're not having much success, it's hard to tell if you're. So you put a resume into a place, okay, and they look at the resume and they say, okay, well, you're not the right person, okay. You don't know that. You don't know if they've looked at your resume. They're gonna look at your resume.
Also, that we had no choice. Had we fought the Galgastani openly, there could be only one outcome. There was no other way to bring our people together.
Our people? This is a war fought in the name of power, not people. The nobility want it, and they will crush whomever they must have it. Don't you see? You're no better than the Galgastani or the Bakram. If it's absolution you seek, look elsewhere.
Anyways, I have to wonder, I know I said this kind of halfly earlier, but I wonder if Vice is like is he like a really good motivational speaker? Because I know the game has to sort of move in a certain way, you know, so that, you know, you have to recruit Aerosol, for instance, whether you play neutral, or I'm sorry, I keep saying neutral. You play lawful, you play chaos, you choose one of the two branches. You have to recruit her in both cases, okay? Now how you go about doing that is a little different, I know. But the fact that Aerosol here in Chaos has a completely different viewpoint on the way things should be and the way things are versus the lawful playthrough is ridiculous to me. You're a traitor in Chaos because you wouldn't go with the Duke, and you know she loves Leonard and Leonard wouldn't do anything wrong, right? And in this, so far in this playthrough, she doesn't talk at all about Leonard or the fact that they were lovers or whatever. And she's all about power to the people and freedom, and we got to get out from underneath the tyranny of the yoke of the Duke and the Hierophant, and they're all evil, and we got to form a government for our people where we're all equals. I don't know. Yeah, I had to kill Casual here because I knew she would escape upon 0 health, and I didn't want her to kill I didn't want her to kill her in the off chance that she has to survive. So Aerosol's got 80. I'm gonna do about 30 damage, yes. So she can die here. You only take her down to a 10%.
You will die with or without my hand.
We'll deal with your kind once the Hierophant lies on the ground.
Oh, hadn't you heard? Your Duke lost at Sanji.
Peddle your lies elsewhere. We're not buying.
So whereas the Duke had a victory at the Sanji Wield with the Vice, and they end up, like I said, pushing on to
More than enough to sound
to
the death knell of your resistance.
take Balmamusa.
The people will turn to us to lead them now.
The opposite happens here, where they rush the battle, and they end up in a situation where they lose a lot of their men. It's sort of a stalemate, if you will. But
I do not
again,
believe it. I cannot.
because of Denim,
Did Balmamusa
the
mean nothing?
Hierophant pulled some of his troops to try and stop Denim's advance, and so the army that the Duke fought, which should be the majority of his army, was only fighting at worst half of the Hierophant's men.
Sister, let us take this ship for our return to Almorica. If that woman spoke true, the roads will be too perilous.
Denim, let us quit this island altogether.
Cut and run? You can't be serious.
If what she said is true, then we are finished whether we admit it or no. They'll kill us if they catch us.
But we must return to Almorica.
I like how we
to
get the
see
exact
Ogre
same
ourselves,
cutscene, but it's from
no?
2 different angles.
Here is the truth of it.
In
I would
Chaos,
not
she
lose
tries
you,
to
Denim.
convince you to leave the
There
island
is a mare that visits
after
me nightly,
Balmamusa,
a dream in which I am alone, brotherless.
and so you get the same cutscene,
Only a
but
dream,
now
sister.
it's because
As
the
I stand
Duke
here
failed
now,
at the
I will never
Sanjay
leave
Wield,
your side.
and she's like, we should leave now
And yet
before
it
shit gets
frightens
worse
me,
and we all
as
die.
though I saw it in waking. I cannot live alone.
You won't have to. Don't worry. The Duke hasn't lost, I'm sure of it. All will be revealed at Almorica. And if we find the castle fallen, then we will leave this island together.
Promise me we will. Promise me.
Unfortunately for Kashwa, everything sort of goes Denim's way. The Duke, while he lost, he didn't die, and he's not completely defeated. So he's not forced to leave, quote unquote, forced to leave the island with his sister. It's sort of a half-truth, where Kashwa is sort of expecting him to go, okay, you failed, we leave. And Denim goes, no, they didn't fail yet, we're good.
All that way. She is for the gallows at any rate. I say we have done with it here and
So
now.
again, this is that half Bakram, half Galvestani, half Wallister thing, where she belongs to neither camp, and both camp wants to prosecute her as a heretic, and not a heretic, a traitor to their race.
Might be that bloody bluer than most, eh?
Then her crime is twofold, for she is a kinslayer besides. I see no Galgastani before me, only a Wallister knight.
The Wallister name me a Galgastani traitor, while the Galgastani claim I am a Wallister knight. Enemy to all and friend to none. The Galgastani can't so much as escort a prisoner without a quarrel. No wonder the country splits in two.
Silence! I'll have a much easier time guarding you if you would guard your tongue. It'll mean more than that if I don't bring you back safe to Caritanite.
Sir Alfred, it's the Wallister!
Now's my chance.
What?
Is that Ravnus?
I know this game isn't that
Damn,
advanced, but
woman.
I imagine Ravenous kicked him straight in his
She
nuts
sealed
and
her
ran.
own fate. We've caused enough to kill her now.
Also,
Kill
apparently she wasn't tied
Kingslayer
up.
and rebels all.